I'm Ian Maxwell and I'm a tracker. Animals and people, they're both fair game. I'm on a quest to track wild creatures in some of the most hostile environments on Earth. Among them are rare and endangered species, so I'll be joined by locals and experts to take on this mammoth challenge. Each journey is certain to be a breathtaking adventure where I'll learn new skills and be pushed to the limit. But however determined I am, there are no guarantees. In this episode, I'll face challenging conditions. This treacherous waterfall just keeps going on and on in my search for the critically endangered Sumatran rhino. Growing up in Africa has given me the privilege of seeing and tracking some of the planet's most amazing animals. Among these are rhino. There are 5 species of this animal in the world, and 4 are seriously endangered. I've been lucky enough to track both the endangered black and the vulnerable white rhino in the African bush. But what I'm desperate to cross off my list is the critically endangered Sumatran rhino. There are fewer than 300 of them left in the wild.
Nonetheless, we'll try and make the flight as comfortable as possible.
Well, I've traveled thousands of miles to be here, and I'm in Borneo. I might have bitten off more than I could chew because I'm just looking out the window. All I can see is cloud, and poking up through that is rainforest. And I'm sure it's a tough environment to track in. It's full of snakes, it's slippery, it's dangerous, just hard work. And sometimes you don't see daylight for days. Well, tracking is all about a challenge, and for me, the best result would be to find this animal so shy and so well concealed that a small amount of information might be vital to its conservation and future existence. So after arriving in the capital, Kota Kinabalu, or KK, I'll be heading east to Taban Wildlife Reserve, where I'll be looking for the rhino in Borneo's rainforest. It's ideal country for rhino, but a grueling challenge for humans. So to prepare for my trip, I'm first traveling 10 miles outside of KK to Lakawi Wildlife Park to see one of these rhino in the flesh. For a tracker, it's really important to get to know the animal that you're after, to get to know what its hoof prints are like and how it behaves in the jungle. And here at Lakawi Wildlife Park, I've got the rare opportunity to see one of the few Sumatran rhinos in captivity in the world. I'm really excited about it, to get up close and personal and to get into that pen. Just a few meters from here, I'm off. But first, a change of footwear is required. I've seen many rhinos before, but not once have I had to wear rubber boots. Sumatran rhino love mud, and it's an ominous sign for my trip. Dr. Sen, Max, good to meet you.
Here to see the rhino?
Fantastic. After caring for this rhino for the past 7 years, Dr. Sen is used to this muddy swamp.
I could see this going horribly wrong.
But this trickly sludge also has its advantages.
I can't resist. Immediately I've come in here, I can see rhino tracks.
You can see how 3-toed hoof print of the rhino is very similar to all rhinos.
Mm-hmm.
Shall we?
Wow, look at that! I've tracked rhino in Africa before, and I know the white and black rhino extremely well. And this little fellow here is so incredibly different. First of all, the horn is much shorter. Really short little legs and quite a short little body. Pretty hairy as well.
Already I can see there are clear differences between this rhino and the white and black of Africa I know so well. At 700 kilos, they're about a quarter of the size of the African rhinos and seem far more docile, but some things about them are exactly the same.
A good indication of the senses the animal uses is the size of what it uses to sense. So one of the first features I noticed on her with the size of her nostrils when she flays. So she's got huge nostrils, means that she uses those a lot. And it's the same with the white and black. And the ears, again, are always on a radar.
Right.
And just looking at her now, she does look rather relaxed. And would that be the behavior in the wild like that?
Yes. This would exactly what you would be seeing a Sumatran rhino doing around 10 o'clock after breakfast.
Yeah.
He or she would be wallowing in here. And this wallowing plays two purposes. You know, bigger animals have more difficulty in losing their heat. So the wallow, the mud cools the body down and also keeps the flies away. And in the forest, you've got some severe biting flies that can actually do a lot of nuisance, can be a lot of nuisance.
How difficult is it going to be to find the Sumatran rhino in the wild?
Can I be totally honest with you?
Yeah.
It's probably easier to find a needle in a haystack. But I myself have never ever seen a rhino in the wild. I've seen hoof prints. You'll be really lucky if you see hoof prints. I mean, with all God's honesty, really lucky if you see hoof prints. But to see an animal, it would be, you'd have to be, I mean, you'll be really lucky, extremely lucky.
With so few of them, this is definitely my biggest challenge yet. And I'm not going to be helped by the rhino's preferred habitat.
One thing I noticed with Dr. Sen, he's not taking his eye off that rhino for a second. How quickly can they accelerate in this mud?
Faster than us.
Right, faster than us. And that could be fun because I'm stuck here for good. I'm sunk so deep. And
probably, Max. The longer we stay in one place, the deeper we get.
I've now seen 3 of the 5 species of rhino. But to tick this one off my list, I need to track it in the wild. So next stop, Borneo's treacherous rainforest. To increase my chances, I'll be joined by Dr. Thaya, a leading expert with an organization called SOS Rhino.
Yeah, hi. Yeah, good to meet you.
Then it's off to meet the rest of the expedition team. Borneo is the 3rd largest island in the world. It's made up of Brunei, a small country to the north, and the states of 2 other countries in the region, Indonesia and Malaysia. The Sumatran rhino is a rare creature. There are now fewer than 50 of them left in the whole of Borneo. It's an animal in crisis, and I've been warned that to see even one is almost impossible. But I won't be put off. To take on this challenge, I'm heading to Taban, nearly 500 square miles of wildlife reserve and home to just 20 rhinos. But when we run out of road, we're still a long way from our final destination.
We're at the end of the trail and we're at SOS Rhino's headquarters. Now what I've got to do is unpack everything, repack it because the porter's got to take it into the jungle. It's a huge operation.
There's a lot to do and everyone has to pull their weight.
I've got to make sure everything gets packed because when we get into the jungle, if we haven't packed something like a hammock with a rain cover, I'm going to be in real trouble. And I know one thing for sure, you've got to be really comfortable in the jungle.
And there's one essential I can't do without.
That's really important. Tea bags. Got to have that in the bush. Got everything? I think we should head off.
The rest of our journey is on foot, so we head out into the jungle of Taban Reserve. We have a day's hike ahead of us, and we need to make good time to reach base camp before dark. The Sumatran rhino is in the crash phase of existence. They don't live together in social groups, so as their numbers decline, so do their opportunities to breed. But doing all they can to ensure their survival is SOS Rhino. This non-profit foundation and organizations like them are essential to raising both public awareness and the funds needed for the protection of this animal. Monitoring and protection programs are at the heart of their work. So Dr. Thaya and his team spend a lot of time in the field in the heat of the Borneo jungle.
But the rhino is just one of the animals that helps to make Borneo's rainforest one of the most biodiverse environments on the planet. Some are rare, others are just too easy to find.
I've just taken a break in the jungle to adjust my leech socks, just as well I'm wearing because they're absolutely full of leeches. They dropped into there, look. Ah. One. 2. Worth every single penny we paid for these leech socks. They're brilliant.
There are 3 kinds of leech here: the common variety, the tiger, and the Kinabalu giant red leech, all with one thing in common: a thirst for fresh blood. Eventually, after a 6-hour hike, we arrive at our home for the next few days.
That was hard work getting here. This is what we call base camp. We've been through the jungle for hours to get here. It's been really tough. I got bitten by some leeches. The blood is pouring out of them. So all I want to do now is settle down, have a cup of tea, and get ready to start tracking. Look at that. They're all over the place. Pull it off the sucker, roll it up, throw it into there.
Dr. Thayer's team has used this location for the last 2 years. They return every month to look for evidence and record the movement of any rhino they find. And it's an ideal spot, close to fresh water and in striking distance of several mud wallows, the rhino's favorite place to hang out. But Dr. Thayer has worked out that only some are active. It's these that his team monitors at least once a month. We're going to hike to these wallows to see if any rhino are there. It's vital we can predict where they will be and how they'll move through this terrain.
The rhino is usually coming in a certain time of period into the same area. We can go tomorrow to the place and place the camera in the active wallows and the trails. Rhino, they maintain their own trails.
That's what I wanted to hear. That's good news, because then we can get them into a corridor funnel. That's brilliant. Absolutely brilliant news.
It's an encouraging sign, but Dr. Thayer warns me to prepare for bitter disappointment. In his 4 years of looking for this rhino, he has seen only one. It took months of fieldwork, patience, and a huge amount of luck to get his sighting. So what are the chances I'll succeed? But with the aid of technology, I have the slim hope of getting a result.
I've got 6 of these camera traps, and they'll take a moving image of anything that goes past it. But the thing for us, trackers, is eyes on the ground, what we call dirt time, getting the distance in and making a really good choice, especially because of camera traps.
Yes.
So we're increasing our chances hugely, aren't we?
Hugely, yeah.
Fantastic.
The next day, we head off to the first of the mud wallows to put our plan into action. On the way, I'm also looking for prints and other signs I would normally pick up when I'm tracking. But the deeper I head into the forest, the more I realize how difficult this is going to be.
From a tracker's point of view, being in the jungle is a nightmare. Often I can't see more than a few feet either side. It's just like some canyon walls. And techniques I use in other parts of the world, like watching the bird language, circling vultures may indicate where a kill is. But here, it's so enclosed that it's impossible to see what the birds are doing.
Because of the dense canopy, the techniques I find so useful in other parts of the world are not working so well here. And I'm even having problems with high-tech tracking methods.
Now we're definitely off the trail and we're cutting through this vegetation. We've been following a GPS for a little while, but the GPS doesn't show contours, and it looks by the vegetation behind me that it drops off to a sudden valley. So We've had some debating. I'm going to have to make the hard decision to head back up, backtrack, and then maybe down.
The more we track, the more the scale of this challenge is growing. We've been hiking for hours and we're still trying to reach just one of the wallows identified by Dr. Thayer. And then we find great evidence, a sign we're closing in.
Sumatran rhino have the speciality that they will be chop the edging, so they eat these all plants in this area.
This is very different to the black rhino, which feeds the same, browses off the top of the plants. The black rhino cuts things through really clearly, but this guy seems to almost chew away at the external bark, for example here.
We're getting closer and closer to the first wallow. These rhinos are extremely sensitive to any disturbance, so Dr. Thayer and his team have developed a way to communicate non-verbally. One of them silently pushes onto the wallow to see if any rhinos are there, while Dr. Thayer waits for news. I have to be patient at this crucial moment. But no rhino this time, so we make our way onwards to the first wallow.
It's like a cave-like creature. What's happening? Why is that there?
Okay, what rhino do that they will be make a wallow under the trees, so they want a shade actually to spend. Then using their horn, they will be make it like a cave, and that usually they will be stay inside the cave under the mud, so it's more cooling place for them.
No wonder these rhinos are so hard to find. Not only are they in the rainforest to hide away from the sun, but they also dig caves in the mud. This is a perfect place for a camera trap. All I've got to do now is set up the angle, see what happens. There we go. I think that's perfect, Doc. Bang on. Fingers crossed.
We reached the wallow and have set up our first camera trap, but it's taken us all day to get here. The conditions have been a real struggle for us all. It's clear we need a change of strategy to make the best use of our time and resources. When we finally return to base camp, it's a welcome relief from the relentless hiking.
Well, this is home from home. This is where I sleep, and it's just absolutely covered with water. Got my hammock here with mosquito nets to keep the bugs out at night, but the mud is just absolutely everywhere. Look at that, my shoes. And I've had to build a special little tray to stand on. But moving over here, we've got the ranger's accommodation, which is just a tarpaulin over some beds. Now, as we move down through the camp, just be really careful here. It's so slippy and so muddy. This is where we keep all the kit. We've had to build this up just to keep it dry. But just look at the floor here, how muddy that is. And we put leaves down to kind of bind it all in, but it doesn't keep the leeches away. Right, let's go down here. This is our canteen where all the cooking is done for all of the crew and the support crew, the whole lot. The guy's putting the kettle on. Now down here, this is really interesting. Whoops. Just check that mud, absolutely everywhere. And here's the crew. Simon, busily cleaning out a camera. How's it going, guys?
One down, two going.
One down. And Simon's just showing some scars from a leash bite. Let's have a look, Simon.
Yeah.
Place of calling. But I've got to say, these guys do a brilliant job. Without them, the Rangers, life would be absolutely horrible here.
The following day, we have a new plan. Local cameraman Simon will form a second team with two of our guides.
Breakfast of kings.
Dr. Thayer and I will continue our search together.
It's a really muggy day. Could be good for us, but I gotta say, to start the day off like this is gonna be really tough. So, what should we do, Dr. Thayer?
So one team is going to be head towards the eastern territory, then he's going to be turned into cover these all flat areas, and so we are going to go up towards the western side, and we are going to be reached one of the all logging road. Then we are going to cover that area to find the signs of rhinos.
Using two teams will allow us to reach all the wallows more quickly. At each wallow, both teams will have two chances of finding a rhino as they approach the wallow itself and also by leaving a camera trap to record activity while we're not there. If a rhino visits one of the wallows in the next few days, we'll know about it. But being able to find them in the first place is still a huge challenge.
Tracking is not all about just following footprints in the ground and mud. More often than not, you can lose the trail completely. What's happening now is the local rangers have lost the trail, so they're spreading out, they're casting out all over the place. We hope that they'll find a pathway or trail going through the jungle that will lead us to a wallow.
Meanwhile, Simon and his team are still making their way to their first wallow.
Well, it's tough work today. I feel the rangers broke us in generally yesterday. They're really putting us to the test today. See if the white guy can handle this sort of stuff. But every 5 minutes we have to deal with these things. Take these off.
This expedition is hard going for us all. We've been tracking for several hours and feeling exhausted. Then suddenly, the mood of my team changes.
He's gone into a stalk, just like a big cat. Slowly. He didn't say anything, but just watch him now. I think he's hoping it's going to be a rhino, not far off. What's amazing about Francis is that as he goes in, I can't even hear the gun. There's loads of twigs, maximum respect.
We move in closer, careful to make as little noise as possible. And then, brilliant news.
This is one of the active wallow rhino, and the rhino came there, so we can see some footprints there over there. This is quite fresh. It's nearly 1 or 2 days. Most probably there's 1 day before the rain. So the rhino is moving up towards some other wallows.
Okay, Dr. Thayer said that this trail is maybe 2 days old because of the rains, but that doesn't mean that the rhino is 2 days away. It could be really close. But what's really important to me now is that this trail is shared by everything. It's coming through a narrow point here. I can see that the deer are also here, the sambar and the rhino sharing the same trail. Yes, please, more. Let's go.
We've identified a great area, footprints and a natural funnel for animal movement. This is an exciting find. The recent rain means that this animal has been here within the last 2 days.
Well, tracking is all about a crime scene investigation thought process, and Dr. Thayer has seen loads of things in here. I just want him to tell me about, what do you see, Dr. Thayer?
Okay, so this is one of the main active wallow that rhino frequently using. So once we come here, that we can find these footprints. What is happened that day before, that's heavy rain and washed off this area, but still we can see the fresh shines. Those are the horn marks.
Which bits of the horn marks here?
Rhinos have a prominent 2 horns, but the front one is a bit prominent and larger. What they will do while they are wallowing, they used to sharpen their horn, and in the meantime they are extending the wallow. So these are the clear and fresh horn marks. And we can find some hair samples on the wall if you go close to that wallow.
Wow, I'd love to find a hair. Let's see if we can get in there.
Yeah, but carefully, you have to come from that side, and I'll go.
My first time in a rhino's wallow, and it's certainly very sticky.
Yeah. These are the hair samples. Usually while they are scratching their body, it will stick onto the wall. This is the only hairy rhino in the world, and they have a hair on their ears and then top of their body and then the legs. So wherever that we find the wallows, so we usually finding the hairs.
Hair is not just evidence that a rhino has been here. With a follicle attached, it can be used to DNA fingerprint the animal it came from. This helps to assess population numbers and is a vital part of Dr. Thayer's research.
I really feel I'm getting to know the Sumatran rhino much better. First of all, it's tracks. Now it's a wallow, and now I've got a hair and some horn marks. Absolutely brilliant.
For today, we've been able to complete our task and set up a camera trap. So we're heading back through this unforgiving rainforest. Then suddenly, I find out that some of the greatest dangers here are almost unseen.
Things can happen really quickly in the jungle. Just walking along, and suddenly I felt loads of wriggling across my eye. I think it's a leech, but first thing I want to do, keep my eye closed and get rid of it. Dr. Thai, can you pull it off for me, please?
Okay. It's inside there, okay. Okay, now you can open there.
It's funny, you know, in the anticoagulant has made it slightly numb. It's a very interesting feeling. Is that it? No, there's another one.
Yeah, it's really dangerous. Usually they will be catching to your cornea, so it can damage your cornea, but it's lucky it's on the eyebrow. So you save your eyes really today.
Right. Emergency over, we continue to head back to camp. Meanwhile, Simon and his team are still hacking their way towards their wallow. And then they come across an encouraging sign.
This one was the old footprint of the rhino, the badak, as they call it here. Did you see that?
Yeah.
Okay, so it's going down the trail that we're following down now. So maybe we're in the right direction.
A good clue, but when they reach the wallow, there is no sign of a rhino. Both our teams have now reached their respective wallows and set up a camera trap. These cameras will almost certainly be the best chance I will get to see the Sumatran rhino during this visit to Borneo. It really is proving to be every bit as elusive as Dr. Thaya warned. But back at base camp, we discover that other animals are far easier to find.
Just had dinner and it's way too early to go to bed. I've heard loads of frogs the last few nights. And just on our doorstep, right next to the camp, is a beautiful river. Borneo is famous for its frogs. So let's go and have a look.
There are around 150 species of frogs found in Borneo, and 80 of them are endemic. They exist nowhere else in the world. So what better place for a frog safari?
There's something on that branch over there. Who's that?
Yeah, there's frog.
Up close to this frog, it's absolutely astoundingly beautiful. He's got sticky little feet, lovely eyes, and he's got this amazing camouflage. But he's just beautifully agile. There's just something amazingly captivating about this frog. This little chap is green, really well camouflaged for being on leaves and climbing up trees. But as he actually goes onto my hand, I can feel he's so delicate and very, very sticky. It's a really nice feeling. I could almost do it with a frog massage. Makes a nice change to the leeches.
The life cycle of frogs, like other amphibians, consists of 4 main stages: egg, tadpole, metamorphosis, and adult. A female usually lays frog spawn in water, but these eggs and the parents themselves are extremely vulnerable to predators. So to protect themselves, the flesh of many frogs contain mild toxins that make them unpalatable.
Oh yeah, there's the poison one, huh?
Oh, whoa.
Usually these kind of frogs, they have a glands on their skin they secrete to protect them. And so it's really a bitter taste. So that is the reason a snake cannot attack this kind of frog.
If I touch that frog, what would happen to me?
You will get some kind of problems, but I never touched this one.
In the natural world, new species are discovered as well as lost all the time. And the dense environment of the Borneo jungle is a rich hunting ground. In 2007, a completely unique species of frog was discovered here. Unlike all other frogs, it doesn't need lungs. Instead, it absorbs oxygen through its skin. These rainforests are truly amazing.
It was a great evening's entertainment. Tomorrow I've got much bigger things to find, so now it's time to hit my hammock.
But before I can do that, I have to deal with a different and more worrying nocturnal creature that lives here.
Crikey, we're just getting ready to go to bed. And look at the size of that spider. It's got, oh my God, look at the size of its fangs. If it jumps, I'm out of here.
This huntsman spider may not be a danger to humans, but that doesn't mean I want to share my tent with it.
Come on, big guy, out.
The next day, both teams again head out in opposite directions. Accompanied by Dr. Thayer, I'm heading to the west of the rhino's territory, while Simon makes his way to the east. We've been tracking for several hours through this unforgiving rainforest. It's tough going, some of the hardest conditions I've tracked in. It's slippery, humid, it often rains, and there are few pathways. And it's also proving a challenge for Simon and his team.
Certainly hard going through this ginger, so especially in today's heat, but hopefully that means that it's all good news for us with the rhino, that it's going to slow it down and make it want to cool down.
But here, weather conditions quickly change, and because rhinos use wallows to cool down, rain is not good news for us. But with a stroke of luck, Simon's team find evidence of rhino that's far easier to spot than prints.
So we just followed the track through the pouring rain, and just as we thought we were all giving up, we found the fresh tracks leading all the way up to this little special area. And here we have the fresh rhino dung, which says 3 days old, maybe 4 days old tops.
For the expedition team, this fresh dung is a great find. Like hair follicles, it contains the genetic fingerprint of the animal it came from. It will be analysed and the results used to assess rhino numbers in the reserve. It's a great find for Simon, but I'm yet to reach my wallow and the conditions aren't helping.
One thing about the rainforest is that it rains, and as if things weren't difficult enough, it's bucketing down, and there's no point in putting anything waterproof on because it's just like a sauna underneath.
But as the weather lets up, Dr. Thayer and I finally reach our destination.
The tension's just electrifying every time we come up to a wallow. The local tracker France goes ahead and he creeps up to it, checks it out, and then we know if it's there or not. But it's one of these really high points, and every time I listen to him, I think he's going to go rhino, but this time, no luck.
So the location is there, so we can fix the camera. So usually the rhino is coming from that place. They spend there and then used to go to this trail. So this is a nice place to fix the cameras.
Brilliant, good idea. Tighten it up. Well, this is where it's really all good stuff, because we've put the camera traps up, and now the doctor is going to mark it on the GPS. I just love this technology. It makes it so much easier to kind of build up this database. But also the thing that makes me feel really good about this, even though we might not find the Sumatran rhino, having seen it in operation and seen how the guys are coming in and building up a sort of picture, if you like, is really good news, really exciting.
It's been another tough day, but a successful one. Both teams found their wallow and set up more camera traps. But there is still plenty to do when we return to base camp.
It's been a long day, traipsing through the jungle all day long. Pouring rain, loads of nasty insects. Time to get the kettle on now. And dry my clothes out, do a leech check, make sure there are no leeches left on me, and have a nice cup of tea. Part of the camp routine is get back, wash your leech socks, because at the moment I've just got 20 or 30 leeches on my socks. But all I can say is look at that, they're all over the place. I'm really grateful for that. Go. Oh, thank you. There you go. They get everywhere. Literally, I had some in my hair earlier on. Another one on my finger. Ah! One of the other problems being in the jungle is you get really damp feet. And they go like what we call hippopotamus feet or wrinkly. So I'm going to wash these off and dry them off as quickly as possible. Otherwise you get trench foot, you get foot rot. They feel horrible.
The conditions here are relentless. It would be easy to quickly lose heart. So it's important to dig deep and learn from past experience.
There's mud everywhere and there's rain. It reminds me of like a rock festival 4 days in where it's just a quagmire all over the place. But on top of that, we've got leeches, we've got all sorts of other stinging bugs, big spiders and snakes. And just getting into tune with this area is a skill all of its own to get into the heartbeat. And what I've discovered in the past is that once you stop fighting it and go with the flow, life becomes a lot easier. You don't have to worry about struggling against it. And that's what I call nooming. It's a technique I learned in the Kalahari Desert from the Bushmen. Just go with the flow and life becomes a lot easier.
We have now checked all of the wallows to the east and to the west. We've found recent prints and dung, but so far, no rhino. So, as a last resort, Dr. Thayer knows of one final area that may be worth checking. The only thing is, it's the most dangerous of all to get to.
We're moving really quickly now. What's the reason for that?
We need to come out fast because once rains, this whole area is really flooded. So we cannot pass through this area.
Well, that makes good sense. The doctor knows all about river safety here because the last thing we want to do is to be cut off by these endless rivers on our way back to camp.
It's easy to see why this has been left as a last resort. It's the most treacherous hike I've been on. It's taking up valuable time and energy, and on this expedition, time and energy seem to have been in short supply. And then it gets even more hazardous.
What we're going to have to do now is scale up these slippery boulders as far as we can see. This treacherous waterfall just keeps going on and on. It goes deeper and deeper into the jungle. It reminds you of something out of the lost world.
Continue to push on higher and higher. This waterfall seems to be without end.
And just when I thought we're coming to the top at this rock pool here, it looks like it keeps going. But it's amazingly beautiful, fallen trees, magical place.
After a grueling slog through the jungle and up this cascade, we finally reach our destination.
After all that effort and climbing up the waterfall, we've checked all the wallows in the area, and it looks like we've pulled out a blank here.
On the basis of his previous research, Dr. Thayer had been hopeful that this last resort would deliver the result we'd spent days searching for. But it wasn't to be.
I'm really confused that where this rhino, because 6 days before only we found the fresh signs in the eastern part, and there's only the chance that rhino could be here, but we couldn't find any signs now with any fish. So I'm really blank.
It's a huge disappointment to us all. It had been the final place left for us to search, but in the end, we were no closer to this elusive animal.
Well, the Sumatran rhino is playing cat and mouse with us all of the time. One thing for sure I know is bucketing down a tropical rainstorm. We've got to get back to camp before that waterfall fills up and we're cut off.
This was our last chance to see a rhino in the flesh. All hopes are now pinned on the camera traps left at the other wallows. In the morning, the local guides head off to collect all the traps. The suspense is nerve-wracking, so to pass the time, Dr. Thai and I head out to look for some other animals that share this rainforest with the rhino.
Everything in the jungle, especially the bugs, are bigger than anywhere else that I've ever seen. What is that?
It's a wood lice. Once anyone touch this one for their safety, they will be covered themselves. If you keep this for a while, then they will be open.
Your usual wood louse is about the size of my little finger, maybe half of that. This thing, look at the size of Dr. Thai's hand, it's just half the size of his palm. It's got to be at least 100, maybe 1,000 times bigger than the average wood louse I'm used to seeing.
The rainforests of Borneo are some of the most biodiverse on the planet. It's estimated there are over 200 species of mammals here, over 400 of bird, 100 of amphibians, and around 15,000 species of plants. In the last 10 years, 360 new animal species have been discovered, most of which were insects. No wonder we've seen lots of bugs on this expedition, but the well-concealed stick insects haven't been so easy to spot until now.
This is the first time I'm seeing this color. So I saw some other colors as green and the brown colors, but this is with multiple colors, and this is the first time I'm seeing.
I'm used to seeing like a brown or black or green sort of version in school insectoriums. But this chap is literally so beautiful, yellow and orange. Every time I turn this leaf over, this stick insect goes to the other side, and I can see exactly what he's doing here is he's trying to flatten himself into the contour of the leaf. But I can also see that his body looks like part of the stem of the leaf, and his legs here look like the other parts that come out, the sort of veins into the leaf.
Stick insects thrive in forests and grasslands, feeding only on leaves. But not all the insects we come across are vegetarian.
I've come here to see rhino, but this is just as spectacular. Doctor, can you tell me something about these?
So these are fire ants.
Amazing teamwork going on there. They're just such a beautiful blue color. Are they really dangerous?
They are really, really very poisonous. So if you put your hands or your legs, they will be bite hard, and if 100 of ants bites, then you cannot move the hands for a week.
Well, crikey, one thing for sure, I don't want to mess these ants up because they're going to go crazy. I think we should keep going.
Sure, we don't want to disturb them.
These bugs have been a great distraction, but we've been waiting all day for the rangers to pick up the cameras. And I'm really anxious to see if we've managed to capture a rhino on them. On the way back, I'm rewarded with the sight of one of Borneo's other endangered animals.
It's just such a result. Up in the trees, there's some orangutans. Perfect. Just heading back to camp, and as usual, you get really lucky with something like that. I've always wanted to see an orangutan in the wild.
We return to camp and there is exciting news. 2 of the camera traps have been activated. This could be my first glimpse of a rhino in the wild.
The next this rhino is going to come across on this camera trap.
Honestly.
I'm going to jump from here to down, really.
Okay, right, Dr. Thayer. Let's have a look at these camera traps, see what's happened. Turn on, keep your fingers crossed. Let's see what's happening now.
Oh,
Oh, wow.
Barking deer.
Little muntjac.
It's not the animal I've come all this way to see, but at least the camera traps are working brilliantly.
It's quite rare to find two together, isn't it?
Yeah, usually they are going to
Yeah.
two animals. One
Yeah.
male, so the one is male, and yeah, this is male, and the other one is female.
Look at that. Okay, well, let's try another one.
Yeah, sure.
The final video from the camera traps. Could this be the rhino we've been working so hard to see?
What happens? Whoa.
What is it? Oh,
What do you reckon?
It's a wild boar.
Wild boar.
I seriously first I thought there is a small. There's two rhinos. I saw the back.
Despite our best efforts, the camera traps weren't able to find us the rhino this time. But Dr. Thayer has a treat in store for me.
Max, in case if you don't believe that the rhinos exist, I'm going to show something to you first.
From his 4 years of looking for this animal, Dr. Thayer's one sighting wasn't just a passing glimpse. Whenever he's looking for a rhino, he also takes a video camera.
So how did you find her?
I saw the fresh print first. So the follow the prints actually is quite nearly 2 kilometers. Then I heard a sound. Something is inside the wallow. Then really I went very quietly near to the wallow. Then suddenly I saw the glimpse of this rhino.
This video is one of only a few documented records in recent times of a wild Sumatran rhino. To film it has been an amazing achievement for Dr. Thayer.
It's so happy, and I really achieved something in my lifetime. For my past 4 years work, I feel like I achieved something, but still I have a lot to do for these rhinos, really.
Do you know what, Dr. Thayer? Dr. Thayer's getting really emotional at this point, yeah? And I've been there myself. And I can feel with my hand on his shoulder that he's shaking and his eyes are filled with emotion. But
yeah, it's kind of happiness, really. And you know, I worked for past 4 years. I came across with several fresh signs, but I couldn't see this animal. And finally, I came across with this animal. It's a feeling I never had in my life.
this has been my toughest quest yet. The elements were against us all of the time, and I hoped with the camera traps would be our last chance to catch some pictures. But who knows, with the work going on from SOS Rhino here, I might be able to come back one day and see a thriving population of the Sumatran rhino.